Hey everyone, it is a really nice day today and I want to go plant my peas outside in the plots because they're getting a little bit too big. They have been acclimating for a little bit outside, but before that I want to show you guys how everything is looking now by mid-March. So I have my green stock here and I think there's a little bit of growth. It hasn't grown too much because by this time of the year it's still a little cold, so they tend to grow slow. But the good thing is that usually by this time they're putting some nice root growth, and then once it warms up more and have more light, it will just take off really fast. So this is how it looks right now. It's looking good. This parsley is pretty big. I could harvest some if I wanted to, but I think I'm gonna wait a couple more days. But it makes me really happy to get out of my house, my apartment, and see these every morning. I sowed some peas on this planter too, but they took a little bit longer to germinate than the ones that I did inside because it was warmer inside. But I can see already a little pea shoot coming out of here. Can you see this little shoot over here? So that's a pea that is just coming out. We had oh, there's another one here, I see now. I think I put maybe 5 or 6 seeds in here, but we had a few days that were very warm, so I'm hoping that all of them are going to pop up really soon. This oregano is coming up. It's looking really nice, starting to put some nice new growth on that too. And this is the ranunculus, a little update on that. But I want to show you guys my seedlings that have been acclimating also. They're looking really good. These are the ones that were in a planter in the overwinter that put them outside. They are flowering, putting these very pretty little colored pansies in here. And then I have some other things. I actually ended up buying a few herbs because my thyme never really came up. So I have some thyme in here and a rosemary. I just went to the farmer's market and I got some. And then I have some cilantro in here, and on this side here I have a few things too. So these are the peas that I want to plant. They're just kind of getting a bit out of control. So this is the magnolia tendril peas, and they tend to grow really fast. I grew them a couple years ago and they just are taking off. So they also have been acclimating here for a few days, and I am comfortable putting them outside. They're starting to tangle into each other, so that's why I really want to take them out of here. And I almost broke this one, hopefully can recover. But we're gonna plant this at the plot today. I have 2 sets of those, and here I have the mint, the broccoli, and the kale is doing well. I need to find some time to plant these in the green stock very soon. So these green stalks here have stuff that have been growing on them through the whole winter. So that's a lot going on right now. I feel a little bit bad to take things out to start planting new things. This guy over here, look at that. There's even some broccoli coming up here. That's very nice. And the snapdragons are growing back up again. The kale has put a lot of new growth. I have the strawberries in here, some more kale, the sorrel. There's even like some seedlings popping up. This is a larkspur. This is another one over here. It's pretty big actually. And there's some pansies growing here. I have mustard. This I've actually transplanted here. I don't remember when. But I have to kind of take care of this all first before I plant these guys. So that's why I'm leaving this for a little later. Over here, there's a few things going on. I cleared most of the plants. The root back in here is coming back. I see some new growth in there. Not much going on in here. So the snapdragons are all transplanted here. They decided to not put them in the plot. I don't remember if I talked about that or not already, so just if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But the snapdragons are all here. I had sown some poppies in this place over here. I don't see any signs of any coming up. Oh, I actually have some under my grow lights that came up. One seed germinated from the whole pot that I tried, but I'll show that to you guys later. But here there's some leftover ranunculus that I have planted in here. That's a scabiosa that's coming back, and this snapdragon actually is the one that endured all the snow, all the cold weather. It just stayed in there, got frozen, went through the whole winter, and now it's just putting a lot of new growth, and hopefully we'll have some flowers on them by next month. So I'm just going to now take these peas to the plot. I really wanted to get them planted today. I'll put them in here, and if I have time I will try to clean up in there a little bit also. So let's do a little tour of the plot first before I start planting these peas. But I'm going to put them right here, so it's going to be easy for me to grab on the other side. Okay, so first I want to show you guys the daffodils because they are blooming. And even though I only have the yellow ones, the simple ones, I love how cheerful they look by this time of the year. So I have a few here, there's some in there, and the roses, I didn't even actually realize this, are already sending leaves. I didn't have a chance to prune them this year, so we'll see how it goes. This grapevine madness in here has to be pruned. I always feel a little bit intimidated by this. Those are very old grapevines and they take over everything. So I'll try to come here with Danny, my husband, and we'll see if we can try to trim it out a little bit and control it before it starts growing again. So here on this side, the fig tree is already starting to bud, so that's very exciting. Start to see some new growth. I also have to prune the fig tree. We're gonna have to take all these side shoots over here, and I also want to see what I'm gonna do about this area. We're trying to put some mulch, so maybe we'll add some wood chips to here to try to suppress the weeds, because every year kind of becomes sort of wild in here and looks ugly. So we'll see what we can do about that this year. And then here we have the yarrow coming back. I ended up actually planting the status in here. Hasn't grown much and it's starting to get a little red, which means it's a little cold, but we'll see how it's going to turn out. It's okay if they don't make it too. It's a learning experience. Here we have the ranunculus. I can see that some of them are yellowing. I actually don't know why, but I feel that most of them put out some new growth too. Maybe it's too much water. It has been raining a lot and they're corn, so hopefully they're not rotting in there. But overall, I think they're still going to be okay, even though there's some yellowing and a few in here. We'll see how these guys are going to turn out. This side here is kind of a mess, so after planting these peas, I actually think that I'm going to try to prune at least here. I know I did say that I didn't want to clean up too much because of the insects that overwinter on those branches, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this all up and put them in the compost. In case there are some pollinators in there, they can still come back from dormancy in May. Because I'm not going to use that as a compost pile this year, I'm going to add some fresh soil on top, and we're going to do a three-sister garden, so it's okay for it to just have the branches in there until May. And here at the stalk, I can see some yellowing happening as well. So I honestly, I'm not really sure. The only thing I can think of is maybe too much watering. But we'll see. These are the ones that I planted together with the ranunculus, and the ones that I did not pot, and I think they kind of got stunted because they needed more space. These guys here look a lot better, and they're the same. They're starting the same day, but these here, I had the chance to pot them. I have a video about it. I can link it up there too if you want to watch. But I think from moving on, from now on, I'm gonna really try to make sure that I'm more mindful about that for this stock, because it's looking like they're definitely taking a toll over here and suffering. I think hopefully they're not too stunted. I'll get some flowers, but these guys are clearly doing a lot better. So over here too, I have the dahlias. Sorry about the construction noise in the back. I'm short on time, so I'm gonna keep talking. But I'm also going to try to clean this up, just pick them up and put them in the compost back there, same with like the other branches, and make it look a little nicer. So here's where I want to plant the peas, on these arches. Hopefully by this year we're going to have some early things climbing over here. I tried a couple years ago, it never really worked, but fingers crossed for this year. The rudbeckia in here planted the same time as the ranunculus. It's looking okay, but I'm sure it's gonna just pick back up once it starts warming up. Also, I need to move this salvia out of here, at least prune for now. And oh my god, look at this. So we got some asparagus coming up the soil over here. Look how cute those guys are. This is an old crown. It's probably gonna be 3 years. So look at that, there's 5 asparagus coming up from one crown. Unfortunately, we can't eat those. I planted this year before I knew that, you know, we had the rat problem and all the contamination in the soil, etc. But it's just fun to see. I'll leave them in there, they can just let it be. But it's fun to just watch them grow and see the cycle of the plant. Maybe when I move, I'll be able to remove the crown and take it with me, but for now it's going to stay here. But it's super exciting to see this asparagus popping up now. Alright, and the last thing I want to talk about before I start getting to work is those I have to transplant them. They're getting too big. I don't want them here this year. I'm going to put them by the grapevine over there because they can tolerate shade. So I have to dig this up. Same with the other one over there. I'm going to try to dig that up too and move it to the back. So I'm going to start just with pruning this top part in here. Then I'm going to dig up this whole root ball and move to the other side. Alright, so mums are finally transplanted. Hopefully they'll do well here. So I'm gonna plant the peas now before I clean up some other things. And I'm gonna use this huge shovel because I don't have the little one. Just want to make a little bit of space here. I'm going to plant 6 of them on this side and 6 on the other side. So they're gonna be planted fairly close together. Look at this, all these roots. They're already growing below here. That's a good thing about growing on these toilet paper rolls is there's no root disturbance. They just grow from here straight in the soil. So I'm planting them kind of close together in here, and I'll probably have to come later and add some twine in between this space over here so they can have something else to climb on. But I just wanted to get them in the ground as soon as possible, and once they start growing a little bit more, try to give them some more support. But I'm planting this in here with the toilet paper roll. Hopefully that the rodents won't come and nibble on them too much. I've tried to plant peas in here and every time I kind of lose them, so hoping for the best this year. Hopefully we'll have nice trellis in the early summer. So these are pretty vigorous growers, so I'm hopeful that they're gonna do well. Maybe I can just feed 4. I can't get over these roots, sorry guys, every time I see it I think it's so cool. Maybe I just feed 4 here and then I'll put 2 in the back or something. Let's see. I'll put the 4 bigger ones. Alright, first side's done. So the peas are done, both sides. There's one more thing that I forgot to say is that sometimes the birds will come here and snip them. So hopefully that will also not happen and they will do well, but there's a chance. I just want to warn you guys, but we'll see what's gonna happen this year. Now I'm just going to quickly clean everything up, just going to move these branches to the compost, trim the feverfew in there, and we're good to go. Alright, so some of the cleanup is done. It's not perfect, but looks better. And now I'm just going to carefully prune this salvia here. I actually want to move it. It got way too big last year. I just don't know where I'm going to put it yet. So, but definitely want to take this branch out of the way. And then I'm going to try to come back here and figure out what I'm going to move that to. Maybe I'll even take it out of here and put it in my front yard. We'll see. And now, since I have a little bit more time, I'm just going to weed the plot, because as you can see here, all this stuff growing here, it's all cool season weeds. They grow in the cold weather. I want to make sure that I take them out now before they go to seed, so that they'll reseed it and have more weeds next year. Every year is kind of a battle. We always have a lot of weeds in here, so every time that I get a chance to see them when they're still this small, I try to take them off so I can manage them a little better that way. So I'm just gonna grab my little whole thing and we're gonna weed the plot real quick. Alright, that's it for today. I only did one side of the plot. I'm a little bit tired, but it's okay. It's progress. The other side there's not too much, so it's not too bad, but hopefully those peas are going to do well. I'm really hopeful that they will make it this year. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.